Hey, how's it going, guys? ZedEye here. So today I definitely wanted to talk about this. Was actually kind of weird, in fact, okay? This may be nothing, or yet it could be meaning that something could be special coming in the future on the PlayStation. So we recently, a couple days ago, I should be more specific, we've gotten a little bit of a trailer, like a montage of showcasing the games that use the capabilities of the PlayStation 5 support, the PlayStation 5 console support. There's a option that's called Game Boost, basically certain games capable on the PlayStation 4 specifically, right, getting an upgrade for the PlayStation 5, such as like 60 FPS or maybe improvements to the graphics and so on. There are already some games that do support this feature, such as The Blood and Truth, Days Gone, Firewall Zero Hour, Genshin Impact as well, very recently, mind you, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet & Clank, also very recently a patch came up for that, so it's available to be played on 60 frames per second, Rocket League, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, The Division 2, Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Now, I want to mention a few of the games that I have touched on here. As an example, Genshin Impact is actually getting a game base specifically going to be native towards the PlayStation 5 upgrade. So there is few options and versions that you can be playing your games on. Some of the new releases coming to mind, say maybe, I'm not sure, go with like Resident Evil Village, just as an example. You can actually pick up the game as a PlayStation 4 version of the game, right? And because say like maybe you have a PlayStation 4 but not the PlayStation 5, so you pick up the PlayStation 4 version of the game. But just so you know, you can actually play the same game, same thing, you can do the same thing, put it into your PlayStation 5, this PlayStation 4 disc, you can actually have an option of playing the game as a PlayStation 5 version. And you will be getting all the updates, the upgrades, and also this game boost. There are a lot of other games that do support this feature. For example, if you will be playing the PlayStation 4 version of the game, on your PlayStation 5 you will only receive like 30 FPS. Or you can actually play the PlayStation 5 version of the game and you'll receive 60 FPS. This actually happened with Outriders. Outriders is a 60 FPS game on a PlayStation 4 version of the game. But on the PlayStation 5 version, it's the 60 FPS. That's how pretty much it works. That's really it. Now, what makes this interesting is this image. Okay, from the trailer, the montage that I've touched on a couple days ago that came out specifically on the official site on YouTube's PlayStation page, basically they showcased this image. Again, this may be nothing, and I hope it's actually something. Basically, this image we have never seen before. Maybe it's just an advertising or showcase or marketing maneuver just to say like, oh, this game is specifically supports the game boost. Means that you can play this particular game on your PlayStation 5. A lot of other people are hoping a lot of games such as the Uncharted 4, get a boost, this game boost, to be played on as a 60 FPS on their PlayStation 5. Bloodborne is also one of those other games that could get a game boost towards the PlayStation 5 of the game and actually get the 60 FPS as well. A lot of people are hoping for it, and I'm one of them too. Because, playing the game, even though you don't really feel like, what's the point? Like, it feels great already to play, so why do we need to do it, right? Because like, if you be playing a 30 FPS version of the game and comparing that to 60 FPS, it's a night and day difference. It really truly is. Even, I kind of want to see Death Stranding as well, maybe 60 FPS have been brought up, maybe getting its native support towards the PlayStation 5, not just enhancing the performance, but also enhancing the graphics and stuff like that. Because like, if the game is supported towards the PlayStation 5, it means that this version of the game will also be including the full capabilities of the PlayStation 5s that it can handle, meaning that you will be able to utilize the full support of the SSD drive that the PlayStation 5 has. This means that you're gonna have almost instant loading times, and that's fantastic. If you're playing the game only when it's been updated for the PlayStation 4 version of the game, because you can play this, 60 FPS and stuff like that, they're not going to be enhanced truly as an SSD. Now, they will be quicker, that's for sure, because you are playing a PlayStation 5 version of the game, but they're not going to be enhanced fully unless if they're native towards the PlayStation 5 version of that game. Even though you could have like a PlayStation 4 disc of it though, because you still will be updating it and upgrading it as well. For free, that depends on the game though, if it's free or not. I'll be honest as well, up and upfront, the reason I want to see more games that came out already on the PlayStation 4 to be coming as a native support towards the PlayStation 5, not just an update, okay, that's important for me to clarify. Well, I'm a little bit of a trophy hunter, and I do want to actually replay my games on the PlayStation 4 that I truly enjoyed and get those platinum trophies again, because, you know, if the game is only going to get an update, means that the trophies are going to stay the same and there's not going to be a PlayStation 5 native support, okay? One of the games that actually did get this update, it is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Recently, well, not recently, but it had already somewhat of a pretty good frames per second, 45 frames per second basically it had before. And now with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, it has recently received that going towards even higher frames per second. This means that you will be able to play the game even feeling like you are actually playing it far better in the performance state, I should say. Okay, but now we have gotten information that Jedi Fallen Order will in fact be getting a native version of the game completely for free for the people that already have the game, or in the, I'm not sure, in the PlayStation Store, or maybe the disc version, and you will be able to upgrade it towards the PlayStation 5 version of that game, meaning that you will be able to utilize the full capabilities of the SSD. The game is going to be loading much quicker than initially it was before, even after the update that it received for the PlayStation 4 version of that game. And on top of that, meaning that we're gonna have a separate list for a platinum trophy on that game, and I really like that game as well, and hell yes, I will be going for a plat. You know what makes it even interesting as well? Sony, or maybe I should say PlayStation, actually has released yet a day earlier yet another little trailer for their backwards compatibility games, that you can play the PlayStation 4 version of the games towards the PlayStation 5. A lot of people were like, the way they're doing this, PlayStation anyway, recently is they have been pumping out these sorts of trailers of the capabilities that the PlayStation 5 can use, such as the ray tracing, the SSD performance, the enhancements and stuff like that. And you can always see like in big improvements, and it's very nice marketing move. Obviously it is. And so, you'll be wondering, like, is this just basically showcasing what the PlayStation 5 has already? And so it kind of raises the question, will this feature even be coming in the future? Will this game boost feature actually have a similar thing that the Xbox is receiving right now? If you guys did not know, Xbox I think has like almost 100 to even more than that. I'm not too sure. Please don't quote me on that. Up to like increasing frames per second on their older games. Ubisoft games, Far Cry 4, I believe Far Cry 5 as well, getting it an enhancement for the performance. And I would love to see the same thing on my PlayStation 5 as well. If it can support that, absolutely, yes it can. I'm sure it can. Like, it's been proven by the fact already many times. And look, few of the games already did get that kind of update. Now, what gets this to be done and how it needs to be done, that's a different story. We need to get those older developers, or at least the developers are working, say like Ubisoft titles, right? Say Far Cry 4. They need to come back to Far Cry 4 just to make sure that they can simply it's not that simple, I assume so anyway, that they need to update the game and actually make it run on a 60 FPS. So Xbox in this case, they're not actually asking for the developers to come back to their older games, whatever, and actually put in the patch so they will be able to have a higher performance, improvement, so to say, right? In this case, PlayStation doesn't exactly have this, right? They are concentrating more on their future games that they will be coming out as an exclusives, like Ratchet and Clank and Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok. You see, there's always things that, what would you rather have more? Play older games that you have already experienced, or do you want to play something new that you never experienced? PlayStation seems like going towards more on a new experience. Xbox is obviously staying in the older old school experience, so to say, right? Now, it's up to people's preferences, what they want and what you want. Say, like, maybe you want to play your older games and you never really get the time of day to actually experience new games. Personally, for me, thinking about it now, I actually play more new games than old games at this point. Again, that's just people's lives and how they go about it as well. Alright guys, that's all I wanted to talk about for today. Tell me down in the comments what do you think as well, because like, would you think this image just means absolutely nothing, or just that the marketing push that they're gonna go with is basically the showcase of this image, meaning that the game does support this game boost mode, whatever it's gonna be called. Well, however they want to phrase it, I should say. Alright, thank you again, like and subscribe. See you guys all.